Welcome back to the Poison Touch Advice Hour, the podcast where two very stressed out homosexuals give you the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. I say that because I think we've both had quite stressful days today, right?
I would say so.
Stephon, those of you on the Patreon know who Stephon was because Stephon has joined me for several of the X-Men 97 recaps that I keep forgetting to do. But one day they'll get done. One day they'll get done, I swear. Stephon,
2020.
how are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm happy to be here today. How are you?
I am stressed.
I mean,
Stressed to my little core. But I think we're okay. I think so far so good. Maybe it was just a little fluke. And I think we're fine.
we're claiming good things.
Yeah. The stress in my case, I'll go first, then you can go.
Okay.
I tried to turn on my computer earlier today to get this podcast going. I'm trying to stop putting the word lil in front of things because I feel like
Diminishing.
um it's diminished. Yeah, it's diminishing things. And sometimes I accidentally use it when I'm talking about like things that my friends do. And I'm like, no, that's not lil. Like that's a
Well,
good
your
thing,
little show, little podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm trying to not say that, I trying to take up space. Take up space is important. Anyway, I turned on my computer to record this podcast and my display was not showing at all. My monitors were like not having any connection. So I'm taking apart my computer. I mean, I took off the glass plate, cleaned it out, took out my RAM sticks, put them back in to make sure those were good, double checked everything else. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I managed to make it work. But then I started to record my Persona 3 videos because I do those every single day. My computer crashed. So now I'm going to record it after work, but I'm hoping that there is no crash. I'm rebuking that. You see this? Those of you on the Patreon will see this. I have this little evil eye. I rebuke all technological failures today. Crack, 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 crack. Stephon, would you like to tell us about your day?
Sure. I mean, I'll give you a little snippet, but I would like to let you know all those words that you just said, I probably understood 63% of them.
Why? None of them
Random.
were big word. Oh, ram stick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what any of that is. But my day was mostly fine. So I work in property management. And basically, somebody was in the building who wasn't supposed to be there, and they're trying to start shit with the little girl at the front desk. And then I had to
Not
go
the little
down.
girl. Why she gotta be little? See?
Well, she's a little girl. She's petite.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this guy was just like being aggressive with her, and then my manager and I had to like get into it with him, and it was just very aggressive. And just like word of advice: don't work in property management. You're babysitting grown people all day, and even crazy
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah, that does make me nervous.
Doesn't matter
It,
how much rent they pay either. The more rent that they pay, the crazier they actually are.
how did he? Yeah, because I think they're, I don't know. Wait, so how did he actually leave?
Oh, just after like talking to us, like after like we gave him,
Oh,
but he
he
left on his
just
own after I
okay,
was done
good.
talking.
I missed that in your voice memos earlier today. I'm over here thinking that you had to like call the cops or something.
Oh, we called the cops, but it was a very like heated exchange where he like left for a second, then came back, just like yapping. But he was a resident's boyfriend's brother. So he didn't even have any. He's like, well, my brother pays all this rent. And I'm like, actually, no, your brother doesn't pay anything because he's not on the lease. So whatever he said you can do, he can.
There's
And
always
then I'm
people not on the lease. I swear.
it's always somebody not on the lease trying to give other people instructions. But in this case, I had talked to the brother and the girlfriend like 2 weeks ago, and they said that he's not allowed here, and they told him to stop coming multiple times. So the
Oh,
brother,
even the boyfriend said that too.
yes,
Girl.
because I live here too, so I see them after hours and stuff, and they'll just like talk to me. They're like, "Oh, we told him never to come back."
So does he because you say he comes in, he showers, he just is taking up space, but not taking up space derogative, not taking up space positive, like when I stop saying Lil in front of podcast.
Because it's weird because our lobby, we have like a bathroom in the lobby, but for some reason they built like a little mini shower in the bathroom. I'm like, this is a luxury high rise. What is this? Why is this here? And I guess he found that one day, like after hours. So he doesn't have to go past front desk to get to that. So if they're helping other people or they're doing packages or something, he could just like sneak by looking like somebody and just go to that bathroom.
Gotcha.
But he can't get past the doors to go up anywhere.
Girl, go shower at the gym.
Trying to
Or
put,
somewhere else.
but yeah, that's just basically what happened. Somebody who's trying to be there wasn't supposed to be harassing this girl at the desk. We got rid of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's do some life updates because I have not recorded an episode of the podcast in an entire month. I kind of just gave myself September off because it's my birthday, and we had plans to do this big 4-person podcast that never panned out because it's hard to wrangle up our friends.
But
Did we try? I was gonna say it's not their fault. It's my fault for not trying to wrangle everybody. So realistically, it's on me. It's on me. And then, Vada was staying here. So the office was like the guest room for like a good week and a half. So it just like, there extenuating circumstances made September not a good month for me to record anything aside from my daily persona videos. That being said, I had a lovely birthday. Thank you for everybody who wished me a happy birthday. I am a year older. I do not feel older because I've always felt old. What did we do for my birthday? I went out to a really nice dinner just yesterday. It was a late birthday present, but John took me out to this Italian restaurant, which was really nice. Neither of us really like Italian food. Before the girls come for me, it's not that I don't like Italian food. It's that if given the option, I will choose other things over it. Okay.
Okay.
But this Italian restaurant was really, really good. I got some linguine and clams that were bomb. John got a fish salad. We got a little tiramisu, a little affogato, all types of delicious things. I love a tiramisu. It's my favorite. Oh, it's so good. You put espresso on anything, I'll eat it. I love it. And ladyfingers. What else? Yeah, ladyfingers. So that's like the cookie that's in a tiramisu.
I'm an uncultured fuck. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I did not know that.
We gotta go get some tiramisu again.
Well, that's like that podcast with Mario where you guys are talking about chicken fingers. Should you assume that there might be lady fingers?
That's what I was saying. Because at that point, if the Supreme Court is ruling that I should assume that there are things in my food that are not explicitly stated, then who's to say some serial killer can't put ladyfingers in the tiramisu?
That part.
Come on now. We had a lovely beach day. I went to a Kate Renata concert. Fantastic. It was Kate Renata, and his openers were Sam Gelatry, a French Canadian DJ, if I remember correctly, and Channel Tres, who was an absolute pop star. Amazing performance, dancing, backup dancers, just overall general swagger of it all was fantastic, beautiful. He put on a goddamn show. And Kate Renata was amazing, beautiful, fantastic. That's my man. I love him. Yeah, so I had a great birthday. We went out. We got very, very blitzed like 4 days in a row, which I never do. So I was recovering. But yeah, I was having a good time. I was having a great time. I had a lovely time.
Did you mention the house thing outside?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We went to the Ravinia here just outside of Chicago. It's an outdoor concert area. And we listened to some house music out there. Saw Detroit house classics, Inner City. That microphone was on, baby. That woman can sing. That woman can sing.
I was confused until I saw a person up there. I'm like, this is live? Because nothing else was up until that point.
Yeah, it was just like DJ sets, right? And then she came up and they had the bongos, and that guy on the bongos was bongoing out his heart. Wait, so is it bongos or congos are the longer ones? So he was on the congos, right?
I thought congo was the line.
That's a conga. I think the congos are the tall one, the bongos are the small one, and when you have all four, you have a full set. I could be wrong. I'm not going to look it up right now, though, so someone else can fact check me on that.
That's what y'all are there for, okay? You tell us like.
Yeah, you got to keep me in line. The audience is here to keep me in line. But yeah, any major life things for you, Stephon?
Not really. I just like sit in the darkness every day and wait for the next one. Like it just living for the weekend, clock in, wait.
Live life, breathe air.
I mean, sometimes I choose to breathe air.
We do. It is a choice. Really quickly, I want to talk to y'all about my plans for October. So October, I am going on vacation for a majority of the month. I will be gone. So I will be putting out a couple of intermediary episodes, but not in a full advice episode. So there'll be some yassholes, with me and Mario and stuff. We'll do a couple yassholes. Those will come out in October. And aside from that, I think this is actually like, I gotta double check. I think we're at a good place to stop for season 2, and then I can revamp some shit and get my life together for season 3. So make some new backgrounds, get some new music, fix a couple things, shift some stuff around. So yeah, until then, it's gonna be asshole situations, and then season 3 will start, and we'll be cooking with gas as we often are over here.
We're excited. Well, I'm excited for you to go on your trip, but at the same time, you're leaving me for a month
With the youngins,
with the others.
you're stuck with the youngins.
I'm not stuck with nobody. It's gonna be crickets in that group chat.
Well,
Kidding. I know y'all probably.
let's get into some advice, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
Well, let's take a little break first, then we'll get into it. Hey everybody, as we're gearing up for season 3 of Poison Touch Advice Hour, I'm putting out the call to you, the viewers and listeners, to submit questions, stories, confessions, and more so that I can continue to give you the best and worst advice to deal with all of life's predicaments. You can submit questions and more over at poisontouch.com or by calling in at 312-725-6483. I'm excited to keep doing this and bring you all along for the ride. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. We're back from our break. We're getting to some advice. And before that, actually, we have an update from a question from back in July. This is from Mesmer. It's a Sex and Love update. If you remember, Mesmer has a husband and their husband has a boyfriend. I'll read their original question, then I'll give the update, right?
Okay.
They say, so this is the original one. So my husband has another partner. We've been spending a lot of time together as 3. I'm really enjoying our time both in and outside of sex. Recently, they asked me whether or not we were dating, and I said no because they're dating my husband. It feels like if they were to date me, that would be an extension to my husband rather than for myself because of our relationship would still exist but be markedly different, and we'd likely hang out less with each other without the common denominator. Basically, it goes on, and Mesmer is just saying that they had this conversation with their husbands. My friend was like, well, I love spending time with you, but we're not dating, because without the husband here, we're not really hanging. Anyway, here's the update. Not a question, but an update on my hubby's boyfriend. We're a throuple now because apparently people can fall in love. But now the logistics of having to buy a king-size bed so that we can all fit in it, big, if true. Well, congrats on the newly sanctioned throuple, newly birthed throuple. Right. Congratulations.
Sorry you have to spend money though.
Yeah. King-size bed. I wonder. I mean, like I guess you would just want the king-size bed, even if the boyfriend isn't living with them.
That's what I was gonna say. Living there now, or he's just there often enough. They're like, we've been together for 3 months. For this third, we should buy a whole different size bed.
Or do y'all just want to be king-size bed because you just want a king-size bed? Because that's also fine.
You don't need to excuse anything to us. Just do it.
Yeah, I think even if the boyfriend isn't living with them, I guess it does make sense to get a king-size bed, because if you're gonna like be over for weekends and you're gonna spend nights and stuff, I don't want to have to be like, all right, who's taking the couch? We like draw straws. That doesn't sound fun. Maybe you can all sleep on the floor together.
We'll sleep over.
Yeah, like
a romantic camp.
Yeah, sexy slumber camp. Do that until you get a king bed. Because John and I are currently looking to buy a queen size bed.
Is your bed not?
No, it's a full.
Yeah, I've only been in there like half the time. Like, so like in the bedroom. I guess it is not a queen. But your room is so big that I don't notice that it's not a queen. Your room is just huge.
Yeah, my room is pretty big. Not to brag. Not to brag. My room is pretty big.
Gigantic.
In this apartment. My bedroom, my last apartment was not big at all. But yeah, so we're shopping for a queen, and trust me, Mesmer, when I tell you I understand your pain, these bed prices are crazy. They're crazy, Maya. They're crazy.
But low key, they're worth it because you keep them for so many years and you use your bed every single night. So the price.
Oh.
So I'm in front of my windows, and there's this dragonfly this big just crashed into it. Like 3 different. Anyway, beds are worth it.
Yeah, you're right. You do use it every day, so you don't wanna. That's one of those things you don't want to. Don't cheap out on that. You want to spend the money to get the thing you want. Also, really quickly on dragonflies, I keep seeing things about dragonflies and how they like scare off other like mosquitoes and other
Yeah.
bugs. So people started like clipping dragonflies like to them when they're like out fishing and stuff, like fake dragonflies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like a little like
Antenna?
figure of a dragonfly, but it's attached to like a
Spring?
steel antenna, and you wear it as like a headband, and you're like in your boat fishing or whatever, and bugs don't bite you.
That's actually genius. I'm surprised we don't know more about that.
I was thinking, the whole time we were at that outside house music thing, I'm over here like wondering, I'm like, damn, maybe I should have designed a look where we could have had like a dragonfly sticking out from like the top of our heads.
That would have been so smart. And honestly, a look.
Not that I like felt like I was getting eaten up or anything, but I know David was getting
Oh yeah, they were.
tore up by bugs. So it would have like helped if we had a little dragonfly attachment.
And I feel like he would have enjoyed that way too much.
I know. This is for next summer. Next summer we're gonna be popping out with dragonflies on our heads.
Love it. Oh, but especially at the beach.
Oh, 100%.
And whatever bees are afraid of, I want that on my head.
Do dragonflies eat bees? I wouldn't be surprised. Dragonflies are like pretty vicious.
Yeah, they're like huge apex predators in their ecosystem.
Or even if they don't like prey on bees, I wouldn't be surprised if bees were like, just you
You've
doing
seen
your thing, I'm doing my thing. We see each other. I'm gonna be over here. Yeah. That could be cute. You know how like the Sims have like the plumb bobs above their head?
Mhm.
We're gonna be like that, but instead of the plumb bob, it's gonna be a dragonfly.
That's the only thing I was thinking of the entire time you were explaining it. It was like the little Sim Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
But also Mesbert, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you guys all fell in love.
Oh yeah, congrats. Yeah, exactly. That somehow we got a dragonfly.
Yes.
Yes, the big thing is congrats on the throuple. This is how
Right.
it
You found
starts.
two men to love you. Some people can't find one.
Amen for that. Amen for that.
Catering me, but yeah, good for you. Sure.
And I'm glad that like the growth from their first one being like you know,
He's here now.
we're not dating, I'm not dating you, and now they're like, actually I do love you, sorry. I think that's so cute. We need that rom-com.
I'd watch it. More
Oh,
gay stuff on TV.
I'd watch it too. Speaking of rom-coms, our next question, you like the segue? Our next question is a confession from rom-com, and they write, Red, White, and Royal Blue is my comfort movie. Yes, it's corny and cliche, but I love it. Can't get enough. Have you ever seen this movie?
I have. It was a movie. I thought it was a TV show, but I watched it.
It's a movie based off a book. It's got
It's
that.
a really hot guy, like Hispanic guy, and then like the English dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the English dude has the gayest face I've ever seen for someone who isn't gay.
Oh, he does have gay face. He's not gay.
He's not gay. I just found that out. He's not gay. It's those lips. He's got those like Tom Hardy kind of lips.
I think it's also his side part.
Yeah, I think the side part's not doing him favors.
Because he's not like full blown Kurt Hummel from Glee. But
That's gay face.
That's gay face. No shade to you, Kurt. But yeah, I guess he does kind of gay face.
Yeah. Wait, who was it? Was it Miss Lady K explaining gay face the other day? And she was saying that it's because gay men grow up more comfortable around women. So the muscles, they're like more, they grow into those muscles versus straight men and how they grow into theirs. That makes a lot of sense.
You sent that to me, but like for me, I don't agree. I just feel like it is a genetic, physical makeup that you see early.
I mean, I think it can be, but I also think like the types of muscles that you use would definitely change how your face settles into
What do women
your
smile more? I don't.
maybe smile, emote.
It's, like, I don't know. I get the Roger hands, fine. Women
smile,
do that.
Laugh, cry, anything.
Oh, a variety of emotions.
A variety of emotions versus
meat
scowl,
bench press,
NASCAR, the game,
wrenches.
Put that doll down, or else you'll be gay.
But GI Joes were jacked. That's a little gay to me.
They were. That's why I liked them so much.
Mhm. What were we talking about?
I don't know, but did you ever
Oh,
have
the
a
movie, the movie, the
Bionicle?
movie. Wait, what?
Oh, did you ever have a Bionicle, or was that after your time?
So it was after my time a little bit, but I loved the colors, and I thought they were really fucking cool.
I loved the Bionicles. I thought they were so fun.
Yeah, they were cool. I was like, at that time, I remember picking the Zoids over the Bionicles.
Oh yeah, they had some cool design. The designs on them were so cool, and I feel like I don't, the kids' toys that I see, I feel like there's a very there's more lacking in like the thing that like kids can build and then play with.
Yeah,
I feel like Legos cornered the market. That's all we got is Legos.
yeah. But I also think kids now don't really need to use their creativity. They're not really hands on.
They
Like,
got
have you
Fortnite.
a child try to play outside now? They don't know what to do.
They got Fortnite. They want to build, play Fortnite. That's your building right there.
Yeah, they don't know what like imagination is like.
That's crazy. More kids need to be playing D&D, evidently.
Apparently.
That'll
Anyway, this
get your
movie, Red,
imagination
White, and
up.
the
Oh
movie.
yes, red, white, and blue. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I saw it. Did you watch it?
I started it
Okay,
about 20 minutes in. I said, "This isn't for me. This is
it's
not for
very
me."
commercial, white gay type of movie. Very like it gives me very vanilla Taylor Swift of like a gay romance. Very like
Yeah,
a girl would write this story, but I can see how it's comforting though because it's simple.
definitely.
It's very simple and it's like easy to watch, and you have somebody to root for, and the whole will they, won't they, if it will work out. I can see the appeal for sure.
For me, I maybe it's me. I don't really care for rom-coms that much. I like comedies and
Mhm.
I like romantic films. I like dramas. I don't know if I like a rom-com that much.
I like a dramedy.
A dramedy, I love a dramedy. Yeah, for sure. But I think specifically rom-coms, I think it's because they always come off as just so it's got to be done right, I guess. Like
Yeah.
Fire Island was a rom-com that I liked. If you could
Oh, you
call it
know
a
what?
rom-com.
I didn't think I was gonna like that because I'm not the biggest fan of like some of the people on the cast. Truly enjoyed it. Like I felt for like Bowen, what's his name, Chang,
Bone Yang.
Bowen Yang. Like his character like resonated with me if I'm recalling correctly. Um, yeah, loved him.
That was a great. It was great. I love Fire Island's. That would probably be my favorite rom-com.
Yeah, I watched Bros, even though I hate Billy.
Ooh,
I was so mad the entire movie.
yeah.
I
That's
was
another one. I'll be pissed off, so I'm not going to do it. I just can't.
just arms folded the entire movie, but I'm like, this is gay, so I gotta watch it. Maybe it'll get better. But then T.S. Madison would like sprinkle in.
Now, romantic dramas, the Australian film Of an Age, which we watched together. That's
Tears,
fantastic.
tears,
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 bitch.
feelings,
Tears.
unrequited love.
Yeah.
The end, very final feelings.
Lots of things going on in that film that I loved. Go
Mhm.
watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime is where we watched
I
it.
believe so. Yes,
Definitely recommend. Wait, did you say what your favorite rom-com was?
I don't.
Do you have one?
My
You're
favorite.
looking around for anything related to a rom-com.
I was like, Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't.
Is that considered a
No,
rom-com?
it's not.
I
I
mean,
don't think.
technically, he's like doing it to be close to his kids and try to get his wife back. No,
No, maybe it is. Fun fact: my friends in elementary school, my neighbor Tony, he used to always call me Mrs. Doubtfire because every time he would call me, I was cleaning.
now is that a homophobic turn of phrase?
Well, turns out his ass is gay as fuck because he be sending me weird shit on Snapchat every 4 years. I'm like,
Well, we
it
never
just
did
like,
that before.
oh, and I don't even use Snapchat. I'm like, why is he? What's he want? Dick.
That's crazy. I don't use Snapchat either. Honestly, I don't see the reason to use it.
When I first moved to Chicago, the only reason I used it, well, I still use it at that point because it was like 2015. But when I first moved here, I would take a random picture and then slide to use the filters to figure out what neighborhood I was in because I never knew where I was. And
That's
that
actually
helped me
smart.
learn.
That's genius. I like that.
I know. So
Yeah.
the
That's the real
last
advice here
I
today.
got,
That's the real advice. let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Let's go back up here. This is
He
from
asked anything about the movie, or just he just
no,
made.
it was just a confession about how they like this like cheesy film. It's like if someone were writing and they're like, I like the Notebook. It's like, okay.
Oh. Well, I love the Batman movies with the nipples. I will watch those
Oh,
all
the
day.
Schumacher Batmans. I love Batman with the nipples. I will say this though. I don't necessarily think that Red, White, and Royal Blue is like a hear me out in terms of like a rom com. Like
Mm.
I feel like a lot of people like it.
It's very commercial. Like I can see how it's a wide appeal.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have that. I don't think you need to be like that's my guilty pleasure.
I think this person's afraid of like sounding basic, and it probably is coming from someone that we wouldn't assume would like that movie.
Maybe, gotcha. Well, if you are trying to not be basic, go watch that Australian film. Then you
Mhm.
can, because no one's ever heard of it. No, people have probably heard of it, but it not the average person has, and it's a really good film. So that'll help bump up your like film pretentiousness. You can be like, oh, I watched this small independent Australian film. Yes, but divine. I loved it. Also, what was the revenge movie we watched? Femme.
Oh yeah,
Femme. That was fantastic.
it was really good, and it took some turns.
It took some turns. We were at the edge of our seats the entire time. We were angry. We were feeling bad for everybody
Excuses
involved.
for people.
Yeah, we at the end were like in full arguments about who was in the right. And the thing is, because it's a revenge movie, nobody's in the right because that's how revenge works, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think at some point when you go down that path of revenge, and I just finished God of War Ragnarok, so I think that's
Every
what
eye
that,
for an eye. No one can.
well,
It's my
at some point,
problem.
you have to like step back and realize what am I doing? Because when you start getting obsessed with that revenge, that's a dangerous path.
It's never bit me in the ass yet, but we'll find out.
Well, and that's what Kratos did. And
Bad
he realized
advice.
Kratos says, "Today is our day to be better." God of War Ragnarok was fantastic. I loved it. I cried. I cried so much. I thought this was gonna be some straight bro game, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this shit.
Oh, it's a game. Oh, okay. I was like, they made a movie. Okay,
No, I think they're like in the works to make a God of War animated show.
yeah, I thought they did already.
I don't know. I could have been making that up. I have no idea. Anyway,
and a bunch of stuff like that for a while.
Castlevania. I'm a Castlevania stan. What was I gonna say?
You're just going on to the next thing.
Yes, some bitch from SoCal. I just got so much to say, just too much to say. I did some numerology thing the other day where it adds up all the numbers in your name. So like each letter in your name corresponds to a number. So A is 1, B is 2, so on and so forth. So you add all the numbers up and then you keep adding up the digits until you left with one single number. The number I got was 9, I believe. You do it with your first name and middle name. And 9 was basically like, you talk too much. There was other things in there. You're like very creative and blah, 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 blah. You do this and that. But then it was like, but you might talk a lot.
Mr. Most over here.
This is what we're running into right now. And that's, maybe I am talking a lot, but I have a lot to say. There's been a big month.
Podcast.
It's a big month. I haven't recorded in like a month. I got a lot of shit to say.
There's literally, so in your name in my phone, there's a microphone next to your name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's meant to be. It's cosmic.
All right, let's go on to the next one. This is from some bitch from SoCal. It's a general advice question. And they write, hello, fellow queers. How do y'all deal with imposter syndrome? I just got a new big boy job and I feel like I don't belong. I'm one of the youngest, if not the youngest in my building. And obviously I don't say that to brag, but I don't know how to engage with my other coworkers. The only person that's my age is the person I got hired along with, but they put her on the other side of the building, SMH. My question is, how do I fit in without looking stupid? Thanks a lot, a newly hired county worker.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I feel like I have so when I was living in New York, I got hired at a news company. Shout out to Cheddar. And I ended up quitting because of the pandemic, and I hated working from home. But point is, there were like only a few young people in the company, at least when I got hired. And luckily they were all on my team, so I didn't feel as bad. Mm-hmm. But for a while I was like, oh my God, how do I, I gotta put on my big boy pants, I gotta be an adult. And I think for me, I just tried to not be as terminally online when I talk to my adult coworkers. You know what I mean? Like you got to meet them where they're at, right? So if
It's like a code switch of sorts.
yeah, you got to code switch. You can't be talking about Floptropica when you at the office.
We'll come back to that.
You cannot be talking about Floptropica and Jaife and and Bing Chilling and all this other bullshit. You can't do that when you're at the office. When you're at the office, you know, you gotta talk about uh rooftop bars. I feel like adults love a rooftop bar.
Taxes,
Tapas.
W-2s,
Yeah.
coffee.
The game.
Not the big game.
The game. It's always a game.
Traffic.
I will say this: when I worked at the office, I did get a little more into boxing just so I had an excuse to talk about some form of sport with any straight coworker.
Okay, yeah.
It behooved me, so that's a recommendation I have. Get into something.
And when they're talking about like the imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
I think with that, some of it comes with like you're comparing yourself to the people around you too. And one thing I always tell myself, because I've been in similar situations too, where, and honestly, this applies to a lot of things. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes.
And you have to understand that you're there for a reason because you got that position. You earned it clearly. So like stand in that and don't feel adequate or just because you're new, everybody's new at some point. You just happen to be new when you're 26, because some of these people didn't start till they were like 35, 40.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also no difference between, my mom used to always say this, there's no difference between you and anybody else doing any type of job except for somebody taught them how to do it.
Yep.
That is it. There's no difference. They still do this. They still eat. They still shit. They do everything that you do. And for the whole fitting in thing, kind of like what you said, you just kind of got to code switch and just like gauge what level they're at and then just kind of meet them there.
Yeah.
And it's new. Do you know how many times a young person, like think about the people who work at a restaurant. You know how many 17-year-old, 46-year-old best friend work combos there are? You never know.
I knew many of them.
Exactly.
I was the 17-year-old in many of them.
Exactly. So I've been the same. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't worry about it. You're going to find common ground with those people, or you'll just find like some way to adjust and feel more of yourself and comfortable in the situation. So don't worry about it yet.
Yeah. Don't like change who you are.
Yeah.
But you do have to code switch a little bit and then like try to gauge where the rest of your coworkers are. Try to get some of their interests and, find ways to connect with them on that front. Also, you don't really have to connect with everyone you work with.
That part.
You could just clock in, do your shit, and go home.
I mean, that's normally people's favorite one. But if you can make it enjoyable, and you might even like learn from each other. You might teach them, they might teach you. You know what 100%. I mean? No matter what, even if you don't like them, you're gonna actually learn something from these people.
Yep. And for imposter syndrome, yeah, you work to get this.
Yeah.
Take up that space. That's not your little job. That's your career. That's your career. See, that's not your little job. Don't lil yourself.
Exact. People lil themselves all the time. As a professional littler, not to other people, but like to myself, you can never do that. Like positive self-talk is so important. And sometimes just like hype yourself up. And if you think of something like negative, you're like, well, I'm a little confused today, but I'm so hot. I don't know how to do this, but you know what? I'm super capable.
Yeah. Also, I think when you're new to a job, you're like uniquely kind of positioned because everyone else at your job is already kind of jaded. So I think when you're new to somewhere, you are actually in a really positive place because you can offer tons of new solutions or ways to make things more efficient or other types of things that like everyone else who's been in there day in, day out for the past 5 years probably hasn't thought of.
Yes. And a new energy in the office can change things because I've been in an office where we've all been there for so long. And then we get this new person, this new energy, and they honestly changed the whole dynamic and it just brought life to where we were. So you could honestly be doing that and not even realizing it.
Yeah. You want to be the one where your older coworkers go, you girls keep me young. That's what you want.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Also, I'm just realizing how green my light is. I gotta fix my white balance.
Well, it's about to be dark in here in a little bit, but it's okay.
I know. I'm like, hold on. Look, see how green that is? That should be white.
I mean, it's green adjacent.
I'll just fix it in post. Oh wait, that actually looks better.
Oh,
I'll fix it in
you got a
post.
little tan.
We fix everything in post. I'm like, damn, I look green as hell. Anyways,
You-
bitch from SoCal, shout out to you. Congrats on the job. Yeah, you earned this. You worked for it. You earned it. You want it. You got it. So
but
give us an update. Let us know how the office life is treating you. Yeah, one day I'll get back to an office. For now, bartending is kind of tea. But one day, I
one,
will. I'll go back to something. Hopefully salary. Something.
so, but listen, don't run. It's not that great.
I know it's not. Listen, it wasn't that great when I was living in New York because I was like, how am I still broke? The salary is like just enough to pay for rent, barely.
Well, New York.
Well, yeah, New York is insane. So that's another thing. This next one is from Bleach Blonde Botched Buchusi. It's a sex and love question.
Okay.
They write, this might be a complex question, but how do you navigate being comfortable in your queerness as a BIPOC queer person and trying to navigate being on your own for the first time? You weren't able to express your queerness until your early 20s, and as you were currently in your mid 20s, just thinking about dating more and more recently, trying to start your own sexual journey. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Where should we start? So they're a newly.
This is complex. Yeah, let's take it piece by piece.
Wait, they're newly living alone or something, or they are out?
Yes.
They're out on their.
Yeah. So, how do you navigate being comfortable in your queerness as a BIPOC person and navigating being on your own for the first time in your 20s?
Okay,
You're currently in your mid 20s, trying to date more and start your sexual journey.
Okay, I'm old, so BIPOC. Is that a bisexual person of color?
No, girl. No, girl. That's a Black or Indigenous person of color.
Oh, they're real vague with it. Just they act like this was like a job like application. Like they don't tell us, but
This is like the conversation we had the other day about NB. Who was it that asked what NB was? And I had to be like, oh, it means non-binary, but NB, like the two letters, is non-black. So that's why NB is EMBY. Was it David who asked that?
it was David or Gigi.
It was one of them.
I remember seeing it, and I was like, I don't know what we're talking about.
But it's a lot of acronyms. It's a lot of
Okay.
acronyms out here.
But okay, I understand the question.
Yes.
One I would say you go first.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, this question is right up your alley because wouldn't this seems like you're also kind of on this kind of journey, right? You're not in your early mid 20s anymore, but this is not shade. This is just truth. It's just the truth.
Chill out.
I'm not in my early 20s either.
33, okay.
Neither of us are in our early 20s, okay? But I feel like you recently have been on this journey about like trying to put yourself out there, be on a sexual journey of sorts, discovering yourself. I feel like this is like a perfect question for you.
I think this is a pretty good question for me because so I'm from Flint, Michigan originally. There are negative 6 gay people there. I went on my very first date when I was like 23 years old and I had to drive 60 miles. And that's after 23 different times of people standing me up trying to go on dates. So I was real late to the game. And even then they didn't go anywhere, right? So I lived in a small place, but then I moved to Chicago when I turned 25. And it's kind of like being a teenager again, because you don't really get to do all that young teenage stuff and like be gay when you're growing up in a small, like conservative place, right?
Yeah.
When I came to Chicago, I really had to trust myself and go out and explore and just like be in the community to kind of see where I fit in. And sometimes I did get frustrated because I didn't always find the place I fit because I felt so different from other people already. And then I also didn't necessarily know how the fast city gays worked, right?
I think a lot of them forget that there are baby gays, and I feel like they maybe enter some situations assuming everybody is like at their point in their journey. And I think for a lot of people, especially when you're out on your own for the first time, when you're out being especially like a gay or queer adult for your first time, some people can lose track of that. Um,
Absolutely. And baby gays come in all ages.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because I'm still in my head, I'm still a fucking baby gay, but I have friends way younger than me that are advanced. Um, but I think you just have to be patient with yourself too, because you're not going to get it right the first couple years. Even you're going to figure out your footing, and it's also going to evolve. And for me, I didn't take a lot of risks, and I should have done more of that because I was so like insecure and self conscious because I'm from this small town. Like I was the Beyonce of Flint, Michigan, and I came to
Okay.
Chicago, and I was like, oh, you're Schmiegel. This is not the same. Like I'm not. It wasn't even
Not
Latavia
not
or Farah.
Schmiegel.
Um, but yeah, just be patient with yourself and take not don't take any dangerous risks, but like
Calculated risk. I think you have to calculate, what
explore.
makes sense for you and risk, not like we're not talking about like,
Open.
walking down dangerous streets at night with,
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
headphones in. If you want, if you there's a party you want to go to it, even if it means going alone. Just check it out.
That's what I mean. Like a risk like that. Like I a lot of times like wouldn't go places alone because I didn't want to be alone. But I could have missed out on lots of friends and opportunities just by putting myself in a position somewhere new with a smile and like with an open heart to meet new friends.
Yeah.
Um,
Also practice conversation. I think that helps make the risks not seem as daunting.
yeah,
Because if you're like comfortable talking to strangers, you'll be more comfortable going places alone,
exactly.
especially if it's a
Exactly.
party or like a queer meetup. Like the comic shop near me has a queer nerd meetup every month that I want to go to next month.
Oh, really? I want to go.
Well, you can come with me. We can go. Yeah, it'd be cute.
Gosh, we should invite the reader.
Yeah, yeah, come with me. Yeah, if you're in Chicago, come to. Let me. I will shout them out because I really do like this comic shop. They're great. It's a queer-owned comic and manga and manhwa, which is like a Korean manga. They're called Goblin Market. They sell comics and pins and figurines and TTRPG materials and stuff. Great stuff. Go support queer businesses. They're lovely. I love them. But yeah, so they're having a queer meetup. So next month I will be doing my own little. I gotta. Oh, I guess I can't do next month. I won't be here.
Oh yeah, you'll be gone.
December. We'll do it in December. It's every month, so we'll do that. But yeah, you got to be comfortable talking to strangers, comfortable being places alone. Take little risks like that, and try to figure out what works for you best in the community. Because if you're not a club gay, don't be a club gay. You could be at the queer, D&D group or
Yeah,
the nerd meetup or the sports league. There are places for everybody that are carving out things that work for them.
you'll find your tribe, and it's sometimes like we'll shuffle. I've had so many different friend groups since I moved to Chicago 9 years ago. I still interact with a lot of them to this day, but you kind of find your footing eventually, and just like, again, be patient with yourself because things don't happen right away.
Yeah.
Um, and well, there's just another part of the question, right?
So that's about navigating being your own. So there's that. Weren't able to express your queerness until your early 20s. We touched on that because you said you went on your
Mhm.
first date at like 24. Currently in your mid 20s, thinking about date. Let's talk about dating for a bit. Dating and sexual journey. Because I think we talked a lot about like going out in general and stuff, but not so much as like tailored to dating or
Yeah,
hookups or sex or things like that. So let's talk a bit about that.
yeah. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not. That's clearly not my wheelhouse.
I don't know.
Couple-
For me, loved being alone.
Mhm.
So for me, dating was like, it had less stakes, I guess. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like some people want to be in a relationship and that's what they want. For me, when I was like actively dating people, it was just about having fun. And obviously like respecting the people. Like I was never not just like having fun and being willy-nilly and ghosting people and stuff like that. It's always like very, direct with what I want out of people, with what my expectations are. And
Mhm.
we're here to have fun and I'm here to meet new people, experience new things, see new parts of Chicago, especially like when I first moved here. I was also doing a lot of that. So that's me. I realize that everyone's mileage may vary on that, especially if they are trying to like get in a relationship.
Yeah.
That being said, my advice is always to like, if you feel that way, you gotta slow it down a bit and really not. It's because if you go into every dating scenario with that kind of like really harsh intent, people will like it can definitely turn people off, you know.
Yeah,
So just focus on you gotta have a good foundation.
yeah.
So start out wanting to have fun, build that foundation, get to know them, and then try to build something from that versus being like first date. I want my name dropped, meaning I want to get married.
My
I
eggs.
want my eggs
Well,
cracked,
they'll crack your eggs. That's
meaning I want a child. Yeah. And some people are for a season, some people are for a day, some people are for forever. So and don't be afraid to have sex first. If you realize you are not sexually compatible with somebody, that gives you most of your answers actually
Mhm.
on where you could go with them. But that's me. I you know had a very long and healthy hoe phase. So again, your mileage may vary.
But
So I
also,
don't know.
if you don't have a bunch of experience, like that's also not necessarily a good indication to me because let's say that person does have a bunch of mileage, so their chemistry sexually with a bunch of people might be off because they haven't had a lot of practice.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
But I feel like sometimes even if you don't have a lot of practice, chemistry goes beyond like how experienced you are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's about bodies, it's about touch, it's about feeling. I feel like even if you're not out here like fucking, you can still have really good sexual chemistry with somebody and have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to focus on that. It's not about knowing how to, you know, do all these types of movies. We're not acting out the Kama Sutra, you
Mm,
know?
it's not that kind of party unless it
Yeah.
is.
Unless it is, when in that case, come prepared then, I suppose.
Okay, I don't like that phrase.
Come come prepared, leave full of cum. I don't
Thinking come, just come prepared. But yeah, I totally agree
come
with
prepared and prepare to come. There it is.
knit that on a pillow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Uh-huh.
your merch.
No, because then they're gonna put me in the same category as Miss Hawk Tua.
Listen, that worked out for her. You got the talent to back it up. What she got a
I
cowboy hat?
guess. You know, when it comes to DL trade, paint Tua. Shit on that thing.
First of all, nasty.
Yesterday I was high and I was on Discord with some friends and I couldn't stop saying like variations of Hawk Tua because I think it's so fucking stupid. And so at one point somebody was like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna go to bed." I said, "Honk Shua, sleep on that thing."
Oh yeah, you were high, babes.
Honk shoo, me, 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 me. That was a great one. And the girls just didn't get it, you know.
You're wasting talent on them. Just giving them gold.
I know, and that's the thing is, if you're in a Discord call with me late at night, I'm basically running through my hour with you, you know. And if you're
Oh,
not appreciating my hour, baby, what are we
um,
doing here?
you're doing your crowd work.
Yeah, I'm doing crowd work. Me on the Discord call is me doing my crowd work.
I mean, that's fair though. Honestly, that's probably the best place to do it. Low
Yeah,
stakes.
very low stakes.
They can't throw a tomato through the computer.
Hell no, no, but there's a soundboard, which they can use the soundboard to make like a wah, wah, wah. They will roast you hard.
The chill I would get in my home alone if I told a joke and then someone sent me a noise.
Well, I think the big noise in our Discord is the Dune lady screaming.
Oh,
Are you
mine probably
familiar?
this guy suck or whatever that fish said from
Oh,
SpongeBob
this guy sucks.
or that foghorn noise and something smells.
The Foghorn is a good one. I think we have that one. I've got yes, Dick Suckers from from the Chrissy King of Dance Hall. The Dune noise. My favorite. Love that.
Have not seen Dune.
You've not seen Dune? I'm a Dune stan. I love Dune.
Is that the one with the boar worm? No,
No, that's Flash
Get it.
Gordon. Dune, however, has sandworms, so I could see why you would think that.
Chalamet and that Zendaya girl.
Yes, but also the old Dune is good too.
Oh, there's multiple.
Yeah, so there's the one that came out in like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that has the guy from what's it called? What's the TV show where Laura Palmer gets killed? not Peaky Blinders, Twin Peaks.
Okay, I was like, huh?
It's the guy from Twin Peaks, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I
didn't
forget
watch
his name. Twin Peaks? Yeah, Twin Peaks. Anywho, what were we talking about? We were on
a person like trying to explore themselves sexually.
yes, sexual journey. Okay. So
And your journey looks
I come from the host side, right?
yeah,
So I feel like this is great because you got the devil and the angel on your shoulder right now, beach blonde, botch bashussy. Because Stephon is the angel here. Stephon is, not a hoe. And I am. So for me, it's about make sure you're on prep,
yeah,
make sure you're on
definitely.
doxy, all that stuff, take care of yourself.
Because no one else is looking out for you but you.
Yeah, have fun with people. I try not to put too much stock in it. People come onto apps for various different things, and you got to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Just go on it. Don't put too much stock into it.
Read the room. Sure.
Yes, read the room and have fun.
Exactly. And have an open mind too. Like let's say you want one thing and don't be afraid to like, you know what, well, maybe let me just try this for a little bit to see if I like it. And then you'll kind of see like, well, maybe I don't really want to date these people just yet. Because
And
once
that's
you
fine.
might regret it. You're like,
Yeah.
and now you gotta break up with somebody.
Yeah, I think for me that was the biggest thing. I just wanted to hang out with people and have a good time, but I never wanted to be in a case where I was like, "Oh my god, I hate you. I have to break up with you."
That part. And also, I know like our community sometimes on the apps, because that's probably the majority of the places you're going to find guys if you're not going out in the world and kind of like mingling as much. Because you
Yeah.
can just quickly get on an app on your phone while you're sitting doing nothing. And
Hmm.
a lot of times, those people that you're mingling with are probably going to be very like sexual or sexually like pushy. You don't also have to do that either. You can
Stand your ground.
stand your ground. Like, don't think just because all your friends or anyone else is like super sexual or anything, you have to be that either. But if you are, go for it. Have a good time. But if you're not, like
Yeah.
find where you meet, where you are.
You also have like varying degrees of how sexual you want to be, right? Like
Yeah.
somebody might just want to like meet up and just jerk off and do that, or someone might want to be a side. But then if you get there, they're trying to push it. Make sure you stand your ground. Be like, nah, dude, this time what we agreed on. This is not the rules
Yes.
of engagement. Were no, nobody's bottoming today. We're doing side behavior. So
But
you better hawk to
we'll be
it.
by the by.
You
Okay.
better hawk. I hate it. It's one of those things where like I started saying it ironically, and now I just can't stop fucking saying it because it's so stupid.
That was like me with like Wu Chile.
Woo Chile. Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
broke.
God, I can't
Oh,
stop, dude. I can't. It's bad.
you shouldn't stop.
So as someone who isn't a hoe, how do you feel you have been on your sexual journey? Because my sexual journey started when I was like 16 and I should have been on Grinder and has continued up until now.
I love that for you.
Listen, I've ran my numbers up, and now I'm an old wizened woman. So
You know, I love that. What did you say that one time? You could probably get something nice with your credit score or something. Never mind.
what
It was
did
like
I say?
something about a credit numbers look like a credit score or something.
Oh no, I did say I could shuck the skin off an alligator.
Okay. Okay. maybe, maybe calm down. This is a family show, okay?
Yeah, I could shuck the skin off an alligator. That's for sure.
Yikes. Oh my god. Well, make me some shoes. Well, for me, what was this question? Oh, not being a hoe or something.
Sexual journey,
Oh
dating
yeah.
more, starting your sexual journey. Let's talk.
Well, like I said, I moved here when I was 25. Like I had no access to gay people until I moved to Chicago. And then by the time I got here, I found out a lot of the people who look like me that I'm attracted to, the POC people, were not attracted to me. They liked white partners. And then this is when I was still like dating, like I like my POC. That's who I like. I like my brown men. And then when I came here, a lot of like the white men were treating me like very fetishy. And just like, and then I would meet them, then I would see like the people they used to date, and they all look exactly like me.
Mm,
So I had like a really weird journey. And then because I was a little bit more reserved and conservative, I wasn't like trying to sleep with people right away. And I'm used to people because -6 gay people in Michigan, right? So I'm used to someone like talking to me a little longer. Here, if I don't, if when I immediately didn't give people what they wanted or like sex, they would stop talking to me within like a day because being gay here is kind of like a vending machine. Once one is out the way, another one comes right back, like shark teeth.
Like Shark Teeth.
Um, so it kind of had to adjust, and I haven't really had that much luck since. So I'm not the best person to talk about this. But right now, I'm
But you have your fun and you put yourself out there. You know, you do things.
not really.
But you do
And the thing,
things.
but I do put myself out there a lot. I've been doing that because I've always been a very self conscious person, very like not into my own body, my self image. Because when I was 11 years old, my parents sent me to a doctor because they're like, "What's going on with him?" That's when I found out I had body dysmorphia. So that had an issue with played a role in like me having issues dating, just because I never kind of like felt good. But now that I'm older in therapy, like there's no more of that less than stuff. So I've been trying to be on a journey and trying to put myself in other situations to make myself more comfortable. Um,
Mhm.
and I think it's another time where you have to be patient with yourself and just figure out where you want to be. Try some different things,
Yeah,
um,
tip a toe.
dip a toe or a whole foot
Or a
because you might be having a good
fist.
time that day. Well, okay, we don't we don't talk about that.
Well,
But yeah, I think I'm on my journey right now, and I'm trying to have fun and just being positive and just not taking things too seriously. And then also being in the gay world, don't be afraid of rejection. I was so terrified of it.
mhm.
The rejection
Also,
like shook me at first, but now I'm like, you know, it's not everybody. Not you. You're not for everybody, and that's
you
okay.
you got to be prepared to be on your journey. You know, it's not like you hit 30 and you're like, all right,
Figure it out.
that's it. I got it all. You know, like you're
Yeah.
gonna, you're gonna be on your journey for the rest of your life. It's called the path. You know, we're all on this on the witch's road, as
First
Agatha
of all,
said.
it's the journey.
It's the journey. Yeah,
That's how you.
Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell, she said it right.
You're
It was
still here.
yeah. And we're still here
We're still here. I'm 33 and Jake is 33 by proxy.
by proxy. And I'm
I'm still.
I'm still here, 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 and I'm
Oh, you're
yes.
giving us full choreo.
Oh yeah, no, I remember it. I love it.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay,
actually, I actually do like that song. I'm not gonna lie, like that song is pretty good.
we're gonna discuss this and do choreo later.
That live performance was not, but the song itself is good.
I saw the music video and I'm like, you're doing a whole lot, lady.
I don't think I've ever seen the music video. I've seen the live performance and then I've just heard the song.
It's extremely artistic.
Well, I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at
Yeah.
it. Yeah, be prepared to be on your journey.
And that's really funny. The neon sign above my bed says enjoy the journey.
Enjoy. Not you
And
being the Tisha Campbell stand.
first of all, it was before the song. But because I was always a very impatient person when I moved to Chicago, things were like moving the way I wanted to, and like my romantic life, my job life. So above my bed, I had two choices. I was gonna get a sign that says "Treat yourself."
Yeah.
I do that too much. Treat myself less. Then I was
Okay.
like, enjoy the journey. I'm like, that's gonna be something that's gonna help me center every day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But now when people see it above my bed, it's a neon sign that says "Enjoy the journey." It looks very sexual.
It looks like you're an escort.
It looks like I'm a fucking escort. They're like, it's
Yeah,
sexy in this apartment. I'm like, babes, it's me on the floor eating potato wedges. There's nothing sexy happening in here.
that's still the journey though. Real quick, I do want to talk about this because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So they said themselves they are a BIPOC queer person. That means Black or Indigenous person of color, right? So how? Let's give them advice. How can you spot someone who is trying to fetishize you? Because I feel like that is a good thing. If you're not used to seeing that type of person, you know,
Yeah.
this I think this could be good for them to hear.
For me, I kind of noticed when like they would almost like a non person of color would code switch and kind of start using like black slang or vernacular or well for me because I'm obviously very like a rich skin color. Whenever they start saying anything about some chocolate or any kind of pastry or food, I'm like, time
I'm a
out.
human being.
New, new, new.
Yeah.
So that happened. That was how I kind of like figured it out. The chocolate thing is very easy to see, but you kind of like notice, like I'm sure for like a lot of Hispanic people, They start calling you Poppy for no
When
reason.
a white person calls you Poppy, oh, terrifying, terrifying. I start running the opposite direction.
Any other person can call me Poppy, but when a white man calls me Poppy, I'm so sorry. I'm a colors only water fountain. I don't.
Run.
I'm so sorry. You got to be some kind of brown to deal with me because I've just
Yeah.
had so many bad run-ins, and I didn't realize how much it was happening back in Michigan until I moved here, and it became like blatantly apparent.
Mm. Joe
Um,
Booster has a joke about this. I think it was in his first comedy album where he talks about dealing with someone who is like a rice queen.
oh,
And he noticed when he entered their home and saw that they had like a rice patty hat hung up on the wall and like a katana in the corner
uh,
and like a kimono hanging on the wall and things like this, like very like nebulous, like pan-Asian artifacts on the
yeah,
wall, but not necessarily like pertaining all to one culture, because it's like one thing if they're like, oh,
one
this is from my trip to China, and I had got these artifacts from a friend,
gift shop
and
stuff.
yeah, gift shop stuff, or like this was a gift from someone I met out there, things like that. But when it becomes Betsy Braddock decorating her room like an Asian woman just because she's stuck in an Asian woman's body, and she said, well, at the time it seemed apparent, just putting swords on the wall, then
It's very
you have a problem.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah.
Very that.
So yeah, maybe that, if maybe not for Asia stuff, but yeah, if you walk in and you see certain things that lead you to be like, hold on, what's happening here?
It's like the episode of Chewing Gum where she finally went
Chewing
back.
gum, yes, that was my second one. I was just going to talk about chewing gum. Yeah.
And now she's like, what, an Academy Award winner or something? I'm like, lady, you've come a long
That's how I love McKenna Cole. That's my queen.
face card of a goddess.
Yeah, gorgeous cheekbones. My God,
I want to go buy some so bad. Wait till we get some money.
we're gonna look pumped. We won't say it, but there will be signs.
There will be signs.
signs. Do you have anything else to say then before we close out?
No, just what we kind of said earlier. Be patient with yourself, have fun, figure out what works for you, have your boundaries. Don't be afraid to try new things
Yeah,
or have a
be wary of people like the guy in chewing gum, or the
yes,
guy in Joel Booster's set.
very that. No, I can't say that word.
Oh,
I was gonna say like those like the black dudes or the white dudes who act like black dudes. They used to have a word that begin with a W.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can we say
yeah.
that? I can probably say it.
You
I'm
could
not
say
gonna
it.
say
You could say it. I don't think I have a place to say it,
oh
but
bigger.
you could say it.
Well, I don't know what color you are, but we all have
Yeah.
our version of that.
And give us an update. Let us know how everything goes. Remember, you're going to be on this journey. So,
Mm-hmm.
take your time with it. All right, I'm waiting for this siren to pass by.
Oh, I don't hear it.
Okay, I think it's gone.
There's like 6 that passed by me since you've
I haven't heard a single one, so that's good. That's
come through
fantastic.
windows.
Right. Anywho, we are going to cut it here, mostly because I have work soon. My plan was to do the second segment, Advice to the Stars, and then also do a little Yasshole segment just to get y'all in the mood for October's Yasshole episodes. But alas, that'll happen another time. So thank you so much for doing this, Stephon.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course, anytime. Maybe we should do a Yasshole. I think we can have a fun one.
Let's do one. That'd be so fun.
Let's do a Yasshole. We'll do it on a day where I'm not working in 20 minutes. But yeah, we're gonna do it. You want to let the people know where they can follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's gonna be X20 spelled out TWENTY. So X20_20X. I know it's very MySpace.
Very MySpace.
15 years ago. I'm so sorry. You can find me there, and then I'm on Twitter, but ain't nothing happening on there.
Yeah, fuck Twitter. I've been Jake. You can follow me at Poison Touch Pod or on my personal at Curl Kunk for all my regular Tamagotchi musings. That's another thing. Over the past month, I've gotten really into Tamagotchis. I found my Tamagotchi from 2004, so I've been posting daily about my daughters that I've been raising because I haven't had a single boy. I'm waiting on a son. I'm over here like King Henry. I need an heir.
And I'm kind of mad those like Tamagotchis have more stamps on their passport than me. Like, why are they all
It
On
was
the phone.
9/11 and they sent my girl to New York. I said, "Oh, what? The agenda.
You do that?
The agenda." Anyway, we'll catch you next time. And yeah, for October, it's gonna be a lot of assholes. I'm gonna pre-record them. I'll have them out. And then when I get back, I'll do a little trip recap and then we'll get into some season 3 shenanigans. Anywho, we will catch you on the flip.